This is going to be if you're running group mentorship programs or you want to do that. Okay, we're a spiritual business entrepreneur, neurodivergent, witchy woo-woo girly. Okay, you're doing one to many, as you'll hear in the coaching spheres, where you're bringing a lot of people together and teaching, activating, helping them evolve on a bigger scale. I was running a program in the past. One thing that I noticed, and let me tell you how I was running mine. Okay, I had a bunch of pre-made content that everybody could go through. It was talking about the central nervous system, the chakras, inner child healing, the Akashic records, just a multitude of healing modalities. And then, it's 11:11 on my phone. And then we would meet every single week through the program. However, what I was noticing was people were not going through the content at the same pace. Obviously, because everybody has different things that they have going on in their lives. And when I tell you I was making a lot of content, I was making a lot of content. Looking back at it, I was like, wow, I was asking people to go through a lot. But I wanted it to be very thorough and say, hey, this is every single thing that I have learned in my spiritual awakening journey. and I'm blessed that I had so much wisdom to share, but I also understand that might have been a little overwhelming. And so I had to make a pivot in my group meetings. We're meeting once a week on Zoom because obviously everybody is in different spaces. And so when I was asking everyone, hey, do y'all have questions? A lot of them were like, we haven't even made it through the content yet. I said, you know what? Instead of meeting and then not having anything to discuss, we are going to pivot what we're doing. What do I want to do as a teacher, mentor, and guide? What I'm not going to do is reteach information that I have already put in the content that they can go back and watch, because that would just be very redundant. And I had already worked through so much of that in my own internal systems by teaching it. My neurospicy brain, not going to let me do that again. And so what I decided to do was every Zoom, I would get on and say, hey, does anybody have any questions? Just generally, anybody have any questions? Doesn't matter where you're at in the course, what you got for me. They would ask if there was any. What I would do is come up with embodiment exercises, activities, journal prompts, discovery questions about roundabout things in the program that is kind of supplemental, that is helping them grow and evolve their consciousness while integrating new tools and techniques, new perspectives and ways of thinking, in things that I think are fun. Because if I think it's fun, they're going to think it's fun. And what it ended up becoming was more of a group coaching, group discussion, group discovery, and everybody absolutely loved our meetings because it was fun and joyful and whimsical, and it wasn't so much informative, because the content that I had made in the program itself was a lot of things that you needed to put in your knowledge and wisdom bank, but it wasn't always real-time applicable. And so that's what I rolled over into our group meetings of, hey, let's all do this together in real time so you can really integrate it. But again, it wasn't a regurgitation of what I was teaching in the content. It was more so, hey, what does this look like in real time? and let's dig in together. And I would pick different areas of focus, different topics, and then weave that into those sessions. And it worked out so much better, took out so much pressure off of myself. The thing is, these are your creations. You get to decide what you want to do. And if you want to make changes, that's absolutely fine. The changes I made only enhanced the program 10 times over. But I needed to see, what do I have bandwidth for? Because I did not have bandwidth to teach on things that I had already taught on that they could go back and look at. What do I have the bandwidth for that is still going to help everybody create forward movement while still giving them the opportunity, open floor discussion of tell me what your questions are while we're going through this program with one another. And then if you didn't get through it, then that's self-paced things that you'll be doing, after this program closes up. But I'm still going to come into this space and have in mind, what are some really fun, engaging things that we can do together? Because sometimes it's more about holding space and being in a community atmosphere and everybody feeling safe, seen, heard, and validated, that can be just as beneficial as learning all of this content in the course. So I want to come on share in case you have a group mentorship and this is happening, or to prep and prepare you for future potentialities of that. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them, and I'm wishing you an absolutely magical day.